I'm taking one sheet of paper and turning it into 4 mixed media watercolor paintings using collage, layering, and a bit of experimentation. Let's see how it turns out. So I'm starting off with some pencil marks here using the Jerry's Artorama Big Fat Pencil. And we're just going to use some of our design compositions that we used in the last video. First one being horizontal. This one is cruciform. And then we're also going to do radiating and balance as well. So trying to keep this pretty loose, just kind of making marks without really thinking about it, adding some darks. Here I'm adding in the balance side, and we're just going to try to make these compositions like we did in the last video. Coming in with a lighter pencil now, just to sort of activate the surface a little bit. And then I'm going to start with watercolor. I'm using the Poems About You watercolors here with some browns and ochres. I really want this to keep this loose and fun. And I've taped up my paper. We're working on the Canson cold press paper today. And I'm just trying to, again, activate the surface, but stay within the taped off surface. Here I'm coming in with the Inktense pencil in the baked earth. And I'm just kind of making some marks coming around here just to give a little bit more dimension here and adding another color. And then we're going to move on to some more watercolors. This is a cerulean blue mixed with a little bit of Payne's gray. I really wanted to add some opposites of the orange and the yellow, so blue seemed like a really nice tone, and I wanted to keep these pretty light and airy. Really didn't want to get them all bogged down with dark colors. So here's the technique that I've been using. I've come in with the distressed oxide inks in frayed burlap, weathered wood, and ground espresso. And I'm just putting them down on my jelly plate. And these are going to be our collage papers. So here I am taking some stamps and just sort of making some marks in there to kind of give it a little bit of texture. So next we are going to pull this print with some medical exam paper. And you can see here that it left some pretty cool marks. And the way that I seal this is I come in with some matte medium and roll it out and then just put the paper on. And this is going to seal those so that when we put them on our collage, they aren't going to lift or come up. And you need to let this dry before you use them. So now I'm cutting up these collage papers into little strips and shapes to add to our pieces. I really like the way that these came out. I think that they have a lot of good texture. I almost wish I would have used a little bit different colors in the background because they kind of blended in a little bit, but I still really like them. So I'm going to start laying these down with matte medium, and I did get the paper a little wet, put some matte medium on it, and I'm just going to lay it down onto the paintings. Really a nice way, easy way to get fun, different shapes and textures into your work. You can see that the medical exam paper is extremely transparent, which makes for really awesome collages. So now I'm going to add some acrylic ink. I'm starting off with the Kamanskaya in Champagne. I really like this color. I wanted to add some opaqueness to the piece without adding white yet, just to give another layer of color and shapes to these pieces. I really want to build up these layers and overlap them and see how they react and interact with each other. I'm not really thinking about this too much. I'm just pretty much just going on intuition and kind of feeling it out to what looks good by trying to maintain our original shapes. Now I'm coming in with the Quinacridone Nico Azul, which is my favorite ever. This is a transparent color, so it's going to act a little different. It's going to sit on top, but still give us those unique shapes and little pops of color. You can see that I'm adding these in sets of 3 because I want to make sure that our eye travels around the piece and doesn't get stuck in one area. You can see that I'm working on these individually on each piece and just adding the Azo Gold where I want to add it. And I think it really helps to isolate just a little bit because these are going to be individual pieces and we kind of want them to feel cohesive, but individually they need to work by their own as well. So this is a really fun way to add marks with the color shaper. I'm continuing to add on just a little bit more. I didn't really like what was going on here, like with this shape. I thought it was too random, so I'm kind of adding a little bit more to kind of bring that sort of T shape back into it a little bit to make it feel more cohesive. And now we're going to add in some white, and I switched to my Catalyst Shaper tool, which is one of my favorites. I like this one because it gives you just a little bit different mark. You can see that I went back in and scraped some of that paint away with my scraper tool, and I'm just sort of coming back in, adding these white spaces. And the white, I think, really pushes everything a little bit more back into the background so that you've got the darks, you've got the lights and the mediums, and it's all kind of coming. The white really makes it pop and come into the foreground just a little bit better and gives it a different layer so it's not all on the same plane. We really want our work to go forward and back and also extend past the edges of the page so that it's really dynamic and it has a really good feel about it. You want some movement, you want energy, and this is the way that I can achieve that when we're just making shapes. It really gives your eye a place to rest, and it gives you a chance to get a little breather when you're looking at it. I know that sounds ridiculous, but you really need these pops of white to complete the piece and add some dynamic viewing experience almost. So now I've decided to add some dark marks with the Ladder Stencil and some Marabu crayon in black. I really like bold lines, and to me the bold black lines and the white lines kind of work off each other a little bit, because now you pushed everything back with the white, and now the black is kind of bringing you back forward again. I know it sounds confusing, but it really is a nice way to interplay between the darks and the lights, and also to give you a more definition of the space, because really that's what we're doing. We're defining the space by adding marks and creating layers and giving some interest into the piece. So now I've switched to another stencil to add more black marks. I really like this little stencil because it gives me the opportunity to add some smaller marks. And even though we're adding dark lines that feel the same, they're not all the same weight and they're not all the same width or height. They're just a little different, and that's what you really want, is different marks in your work. You don't want to make the same marks all the way through on every piece. You want to switch it up, change it up, and get some difference. So I'm continuing to make black marks because I got a little addicted to them. And I love making black marks. I'm going to add a little bit more of the vertical black marks because I felt like it was getting, especially this piece up here at the top, was getting a little too horizontal. And I really wanted to add some vertical marks to this piece. So now I'm going to take up the tape and we're going to see what we got. I didn't keep any of the tape because it wasn't terribly interesting, but I do like how the tape is taking off is great. And now I'm going to cut these up into 4 smaller pieces, and then we will take a look at them and talk about them. I then decided I wanted to put some light pencil marks through here, so that's what we're doing now, just to add a little bit more visual interest. They were seeming a bit plain to me. I kind of wanted just some light pencil lines back there. Okay, so I really like this one. I like these marks coming through here. I like the pencil marks and the ink tense pencils going through here. I'm not sure about those lines. They kind of got a little lost. Maybe they could be darker. I don't know. But I think it also works like this. Let's go to the next one. This one's fun. I like the movement we got going through here. I like the little bit of the quinacridone orange and the pencil lines through here and the watercolor. Overall, I think this one's very nice. I do like this one. Next, we have this one, which I think I painted it this way. This one's a little bit more subtle than the other ones. I like the collage a little bit better in this one. I love that little bit brown bit right through there. It's got a lot more fun interaction between the orange and the blues, which I really like. I kind of like this sort of weirdness coming off over here. I think this was the radial that we were emulating here, which was kind of fun. I like that one. And then finally we have this one, which I believe I painted this way. I think, or did I paint it this way? Gosh, I don't even remember. I think I painted it this way. I like the collage on this one. I like those marks right through there. And I kind of like how this one has more blue in it mixed with the watercolor there. And I think that's really cool. I like it with the quinacridone orange and the Inktense pencils. I think this one might be my favorite. It's going to be a toss-up between these two, I believe, are my favorites. But I like them all. Let me know in the comments which one's your favorite. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Which one's your favorite? I think they're all pretty fun. I thought this was a fun exercise. I think it was a fun combination of what we did last week and our last video, which was more about composition. And the first one was more about mark making. So this is kind of the culmination of both of those ideas. I think they all turned out pretty cool. I might actually hang these somewhere because I kind of like them. Let me know your thoughts, comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll be back on Saturday with another video. Thanks so much. Bye.